Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are in Skopje, Macedonia.
We made it to Skopje. We actually meant to come here years ago, but it never really worked out. Macedonia is actually the last country in the Balkans that we had to visit. We're super excited. I don't really know much about Skopje. It's the capital and the largest city of Macedonia. And apparently it's really random. There's a lot of strange statues and stuff. So let's see what it's like and let's eat some Macedonian food because I'm really hungry.
We decided to start our day off here in the Old Bazaar, also known as the Turkish Bazaar. It's one of the main attractions here in Skopje. It's actually one of the oldest markets in all of the Balkans, one of the biggest as well. I think that it's been the center of trade and commerce here in Skopje since like the 12th century, maybe even earlier. So we're very excited to check it out and walk around and see what it has. We are here on a Sunday, so some things are closed, but there's still lots of places that offer food, souvenirs, clothing, and things like that. So let's go.
This old town is super cute. It has all these little tiny streets and people are drinking coffee in these little cafes, and there's all these sweet shops, and there was Turkish baklava, which looked amazing. And yeah, it's super cute. It reminds me of obviously Turkey and Cyprus and Mostar, and I always love those places. So we were walking around and there's all these delicious looking sweet shops, and so we decided to start with some sweets. We haven't had breakfast, but I guess if you can have cake for breakfast, why not? We went to the shop called Sweets Shop Rigara. It's really old school looking, and the guy who worked there, he said that pretty much all of their sweets are Macedonian, traditional. They had some Turkish stuff, but we chose this trileçe cake. We've had this in Serbia before. And it's also very similar to the Mexican version, tres leches cake. It's made out of a cake that's kind of infused with all different types of milk, like normal milk, condensed milk, and it has this little caramel layer on top with this one. You can see the milk oozing out. Let's try it. That is so soft. It's so wet, but so delicious. It's like really soggy, but the milk tastes so fresh and sweet. Yeah, the top layer almost looks like it's a caramel jam. It's so delicious. And I find it so interesting that this cake exists here. I read before, I think that it kind of came from Turkey. I don't know. People in the comments in our other video were kind of debating about it, but all I know is it's delicious.
I read comments online in the reviews saying that this sweet shop might be like 100 years old or something like that, and it does look like it. It looks really cool, and the guy was super friendly. He made some suggestions for us, which was super nice. Let's try this cake. That is super sweet, and I totally think the top layer tastes caramelly, but as you said, it's very light. It does have almost like a jelly consistency to it. Yeah, that's really good. It's weird, because like, if I dropped my cake into my milk, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to eat that, it's soggy. But like, this is basically soggy cake, but it's so good. Delicious. The second thing we got, and actually one of the reasons why we went to the shop, is for this item here. And I guess it's called parachute. It almost looks like a macaron, but he said it's different. It's even really light like one. I'm not even really sure what's on the inside, but he said that this is definitely Macedonian.
He said something about walnuts.
Walnuts. Oh yeah, this is walnut.
He said it looks like a parachute. I don't know how.
Guess because the top is circular? I don't know. Let's just try it. Ooh. Totally macaron vibes. It's so chewy. No, this is phenomenal. Like, the cake is good, but this is really good. And I know for a fact that Anya is going to be obsessed with this because she loves walnut, anything nut flavored. You can definitely taste the walnut, but it's the texture. The texture is absolutely perfect.
So chewy. It's like the perfect chewy, sticky cookie. Yeah. It is a tiny bit like a macaron, but I kind of like this cookie better because it's so chewy and so delicious, and this cream. This is divine. This is so, so good. Yum. We got one final thing. The guy said that this is more a Turkish dessert, but I saw this in different shops and I saw this online, so I wanted to try it. And it has pistachios on top, and I love pistachios. It kind of seems to be like infused with honey or something, kind of like baklava. Yeah, I don't know what these like little hairs, strings are made out of. Let's see. I don't know how to eat this. That is so weird, the consistency, because these are all like these little sticks. So good though.
I mean, it looks kind of like what they use on kunefe. Remember that cheese dessert? That also has strings like that on it.
It's kind of simple. It's just kind of that batter in string form with honey and then some pistachios, but this is yummy. It's really good.
This thing is so sticky. Delicious. They're all delicious.
We need to get more parachutes.
5 more. Like many parts of the Balkans, Macedonia was under Ottoman rule for something around like 500 years or something like that. So you do see the Turkish influence here in the market, but also in the coffee. So what we have here is a Turkish coffee, super dark, bitter. I'm sure this is gonna be super strong. And we are doing this completely out of order. Typically you'd have your desserts with your coffee, but it is what it is.
We're flushing them down.
That is hot as hell, but that is super strong, a little bit bitter. You can feel those coffee grounds because with Turkish coffee, it kind of just sits at the bottom. Delicious.
And I got some Turkish tea or chai. Delicious. I prefer it without sugar. So good. And I just really love the vibe here. And it makes me excited for the next country we're visiting, which is actually going to be Turkey. So stay tuned.
We have now come to the Skopje Fortress, which is in the middle of the city. It's kind of just outside of the old town, or maybe in the old town still. I think it's commonly referred to as Kale, which means fortress in Turkish. It was built sometime in the 6th century, so it's very, very old, and you can tell that by just walking around here. It's a little bit run down, but that just takes you back in time when you walk around these grounds. I think sometime in the mid-2000s to maybe early 2010, they started to try to excavate here and revamp this place a little bit. And when they were excavating and digging around, they found all sorts of old artifacts. I think some clay pots and instruments and things like that, but also they found a massive stash of Byzantine or Byzantine, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, coins. So pretty cool. And it's just a great spot to visit because you have this amazing 360 view of the city.
And it's free.
And it's free.
From up here, you can already see how interesting the city looks. Like you have all these like statues and Greek looking buildings, and then you have some buildings that are more like blocky skyscrapers, almost like Soviet looking, and the mountain.
And then some buildings look straight out of the Ottoman Empire, and obviously you do have some mosques and stuff too.
Yeah, such a weird, interesting,
eclectic
cool
mix.
skyline, yeah.
Yeah, this city is very confusing. I can't quite pinpoint what the vibe is of the city, but I do like it. We are now here in Macedonia Square. As you can tell, behind us we have the Alexander the Great statue. I think it cost somewhere around $9 million to make, and it was built in Italy. And much like many of the other statues in the city, it was part of a project called Skopje 2014, which was meant to restore the city to its former glory. I think in 1963, between 75 and 80% of this city was destroyed. I think a former mayor of the city created this project, and so far they've spent between 80 million and 500 million euros, which is absolutely insane. There are all these grandiose, crazy statues and sculptures everywhere, and as a tourist it looks quite cool, but I would love to know and hear the locals' perspective. What do you think about this? I read that it was quite controversial because maybe there's corruption in the government, people were skimming off the top and taking this money for themselves, and Of course, maybe some people would say this money could have been spent better. You put it into infrastructure, helping the people. So if you are a local, please let us know. How do you feel about this project?
As a tourist though, I think it's actually really cool. It's totally different than I imagined, even from what I'd seen online. It's so bizarre, and it almost feels a little bit artificial to me, like the new statues that kind of look Greek. It makes me feel like I'm in like Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas or whatever. There's even like a casino here and billboards and things like that. But yeah, very strange.
Another part of this Skopje 2014 project were these ships that you can see behind me, and they're located in the Vardar River. Originally, they were going to build 6 of them, but I think they settled on 3. One of them is actually a hotel. I think the one behind me you can go in. Maybe that is the hotel, and you can get drinks there and stuff, it looks like. This was another controversial decision because Macedonia is actually a landlocked country. They did not rely on boats like this to transport goods. So it's a bit strange that they're here. They're kind of out of place, but they are cool as well. They all look like pirate ships, these big old school pirate ships. So pretty cool, but also very strange.
And the river that flows through the city is called the Vardar River. And I just really love how it makes the city feel. There's the stone bridge over there, which looks amazing. And there's another bridge. And yeah, it just has a really cool, nice vibe. And I feel like if it was sunny today, it would be even nicer. There's even people like sitting at the edge of it on the stairs. And I have to say, I quite like it here. It's so unique. Totally different than any other city I feel like I've been to, and also totally different than any other city in the Balkans I feel like so far. One of the ships is actually run down and abandoned, and you can actually go on it. I was joking when we came here, I was like, oh, do you think you can go on it? And he was like, I think so. It feels like we're somewhere where we shouldn't be.
It feels like we are gonna fall through this floor. It feels like it's rotting. It's definitely not taken care of, but it also makes us feel like a pirate.
It's really cool. It feels like one of those abandoned like theme parks and stuff.
Yeah.
So before dinner, we decided to make a quick stop at another cake shop. I think this one is called Cake Shop Apče or Apče, I don't know. And I wanted to go there because they have this drink. I have never seen it anywhere else. I think it's called Boza. This is from like Turkish origin, I think, and has like cinnamon and things, but it's fermented and has like a low alcohol content of like 1%, and it smells like that. People can like buy it there in like big plastic bottles to take home. So I'm a bit scared. It smells like, I don't know, homemade alcohol or something. Or like when fruit went, it's kind of alcohol-y. This is so weird. It's like kind of syrupy, like fruity, almost like a smoothie. It kind of tastes carbonated.
It looks like it could be made with like wheat or something like that.
It's better than I thought. It almost tastes a little bit like apple juice. I don't know, you're probably gonna say I'm crazy. Interesting, I didn't think it would be this thick. But yeah, I've never had anything like this. Let me know if you drink this, if you're from Macedonia.
This definitely smells fermented, so let's see how it tastes. It's so thick. No, I totally agree with you. It almost tastes like a liquefied apple pie. It has like that cinnamon kind of flavor, almost Christmassy flavors, but then the aftertaste is kind of fermented. There's probably not even any apples in this. We're probably just crazy. Maybe our taste buds are going nuts, but this is really good. Better than I thought it was gonna be too. It is now dinner time, so we came to a traditional Macedonian restaurant called Çardok, something like that. Not really sure if that's how you pronounce it. And of course, with any meal, you need to start with a drink. So we got ourselves a beer. And this is the local beer that is by far the most popular beer that you see everywhere. So cheers, let's drink. Really crisp, light, clean flavor. It's only something like 4.9%, but it's really easy to drink. And of course, I couldn't just get one drink, so I also got some local Macedonian rakia. I've never really seen rakia with this yellow color. It almost looks like I'm drinking a shot of piss, but cheers.
Does it taste like piss?
Nope. Unless that person's been drinking non-stop straight alcohol for their entire lives. It burns a little bit, but it's also pretty smooth. Yeah, this is really good. I'm not sure if you sip rakia or you shoot rakia in Macedonia, so let us know in the comments, but delicious.
The drink that I chose is called Masika, and in the menu it said that this is the Macedonian national drink, so I had to have it. This was under the category ouzo, so I guess it's a ouzo. I read that basically it's made from resin from the mastic tree, and I guess it's popular here and in Greece. Let me see. Oh. It tastes like ouzo. It's delicious though. I don't like licorice, but this I like. It's kind of the sweet, I don't know, yummy flavor. It's kind of like sweet licorice. And I love how it's such a huge portion. It's crazy.
I know in Turkey, when you have ouzo like this with a little bit of water, I think they call it lion's milk or something like that. So you'll have to let us know in the comments if there's a specific name for this kind of drink. Cheers.
It tastes really strong considering it seems to be mixed maybe with water.
It's funny, like licorice used to be the one thing that I don't like, but I feel like I'm growing more accustomed to it. And especially in alcohol form, I can definitely get down with this.
Everything's good with alcohol.
Exactly. We're now going to start with a couple of appetizers. The first thing we have is called Pepper's Çardak. I'm sure that's not the Macedonian name. You'll have to let us know in the comments what it is. But they're basically just these deep fried peppers stuffed with cheese. And they're also served with a sauce. And it looks kind of like a tzatziki, but I'm not really sure what it is because I haven't tried it yet. I'm just going to try the pepper straight up. This thing is hefty. That is so good. I mean, how can you go wrong with a deep fried pepper stuffed full of cheese? Like, this thing is amazing. It's so creamy, crunchy on the outside. Really good way to start a meal.
That cheese, it's kind of like a little bit like feta, like a little bit like tart. So good. This pepper and just the way it's fried, it's not greasy at all. That is almost like mayonnaise, like mayonnaise with pickles and stuff. You don't really need it because there's so much cheese.
Yeah.
So with this you don't really need it, but it's still divine. We also got a South Macedonian salad. They had a North Macedonian one and a South Macedonian one. The South one has cheese and olives on top, and the other one had peppers. So we wanted some cheese and olives because we love cheese and olives. That feta cheese is so salty. So good. Love olives.
We're now going to try something called makalo, which is a popular side dish here in Macedonia. I think typically it comes with oil, peppers, garlic, and things like that, but there are a bunch of different variations of this, including ones with leek, potato, and in this case, it's supposed to be eggplant. It also has, obviously, a bunch of cheese in it and also walnuts. We were actually going to use this with something else that we ordered, but since it's already here, we might as well try it on its own. It just looks like straight up cheese, to be honest. It's a little bit spicy, super cheesy, a little bit salty, sour. It's basically got all the different flavors. I'm chewing on it. I can taste rosemary. Definitely tastes like rosemary. This would be good with some bread, which is obviously how you're supposed to eat it. So we're gonna have to try this again when we have our zelnik.
The next thing we're gonna try is, I believe, called zelnik. It was only called Macedonian pie in the menu, but I think this is what zelnik is. It's basically a pie similar to burek. They have cheese, spinach, and in this case we have leek. So I don't know if it ever comes with meat, but yeah, we wanted to try something completely new to us, and this has leek in it. It's really flaky. They literally just made this, so it's super fresh. It smells really like leaky.
Leaky?
Leaky cabbagey or something. It's hot. It's delicious. It's not greasy either. It's really like crispy, but the inside is quite soft. And I really like the leek flavor. It's yummy. And also, I don't know if you can see it, but the sky is purple. It's crazy. It's literally like almost dark purple. It's beautiful.
I could be wrong, but I think this is more of a breakfast thing, but we didn't see it anywhere in any bakeries, although to be honest, we weren't really looking for it because we knew that they had it at this restaurant. This looks so flaky, so fresh. I'm actually going to try it with some of this makalo that we had earlier because I think this would be a really good pairing.
Maybe Macedonians are thinking, what are you doing?
What are you doing? But we didn't order any bread because we didn't want to fill up on bread, but this is basically a pastry bread. I don't know, but this looks delicious. Maybe I commit a sin by eating these two things together, but it really works. That cheese, the oil, a little bit of spice. I can still taste the leek. This thing is so flaky. It's got a nice chew to it as well, though. This is so good. We are now on to our next and final dish, which is something called, I think, tavche kravche. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I think the translation is beans on a tava, which is one of these clay pots or skillets. And this dish is full of white beans, and it looks like parsley. I don't know if there's any meat in here. I don't think there is. So I think that we accidentally basically just had a vegetarian meal. It was not our intention. Typically, you come somewhere like Macedonia, you eat a bunch of grilled meat, and we will on the rest of this trip, but for now, we're gonna enjoy these delicious traditional dishes. It is steaming hot. It came straight out of the oven, so let's try not to burn my mouth out. It's very subtle in flavor. It's not in your face or anything like that. If you like beans, of course, you're gonna like this. It seems like it has some sort of tomato base almost. It looks like it's got a little bit of parsley in there. Pretty simple, but tasty.
I don't know, is there also cabbage or leek or something in there? Because it looks like there's little leafy bits.
I don't know. We had something like this in Serbia and it was called padobranac.
Yeah, but I think there it had meat. This one doesn't feel like meat. It's really good. This is the end of the video. We're so full. I think when you come to Macedonia, you have to have a bunch of friends so you can share all the food. That's
Seriously.
what everyone else was doing, but we're just two people, but we have lots of leftovers that we can eat tomorrow. And yeah, we really loved it. It was awesome. Can't wait to come back.
Yeah, very strange city, but we really enjoyed ourselves. Food was delicious. We're probably gonna have a couple more Macedonian dishes on our own time. Maybe we can put some B-roll of that if we have it. But yeah, this was an amazing time. So if you did like this video, please give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But that is it for now. We will see you all in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.